Good morning, good morning, good morning, or whenever this video finds you. I have some breaking news coming out of Washington, D.C. According to ABC News, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer of New York is begging, demanding that President Joe Biden step down and not continue his re-election campaign. Top Democrat leaders, including Chuck Schumer, the most senior leader of the Democrat Party next to Biden, is telling Biden the Democrat Party will be destroyed and not recover if you do not step down. So, Mr. President, for the good of the country, you must step down. This is according to sources close to Chuck Schumer. Now, let me know in the comments, for the good of the country, should President Joe Biden step down? Should Biden do the right thing, although it is a hard thing, and step away, protect the country, make it safe, protect the US dollar, allow new leadership to step in, whether that's in his party or Donald Trump winning in a landslide? I would like to hear from you, please. Now, a few days ago, the other presidential candidate was announced that Trump was having a private phone call with RFK Jr. It sparked rumors. While RFK Jr. was not his VP pick, the two had a phone call. During the leaked 2-minute clip, Trump talked about 3 different topics. The first of which was regarding infant vaccines, which Trump claimed are currently being given in doses that are too large. He wants that investigated. He wants Big Pharma to prove that they aren't hurting babies. He stated, "It looks like it's meant for a horse, not a 10-pound baby." And then you see the baby all of a sudden start to change radically. I've seen it too many times. And then you hear that it doesn't have an impact. After listening to the clip, it's clear to me that this wasn't the first time the two have spoken about this topic. Trump also stated that his intention is to have the dosages lowered once he's reelected as president. The second point was discussed that Trump clearly wanted RFK Jr. to serve in his cabinet with his administration. After discussing the effects of current vaccines on infants, Trump stated, "I would love you to do stuff, and I think it would be so good for you and so big for you. We're going to win. We're way ahead of the guy, Biden." Now, unfortunately for us, RFK Jr. did not respond to his offer in the clip. So we don't know how RFK Jr. feels about partnering with Donald Trump. But how about Donald Trump telling RFK Jr. that he's going to beat him and Biden, and then talking about all of the great things that they could do together? Now, let me know in the comments, would you like to see RFK Jr. maybe be a special prosecutor against Big Pharma, or maybe attorney general? I think that they could be a very good team together. Now, the third and final topic discussed was President Biden's call for Donald Trump, or with Donald Trump, after the assassination attempt. Trump stated, he was very nice, actually. He said, "How did you choose to move to the right?" I said, "I was just showing a chart." Then Trump laughed and stated, "I didn't have to tell him the chart was on all the people pouring into the country." So literally talking about illegal immigration and how it's Biden's fault, he ends up moving his head and saving his own life. Now, after the clip surfaced, RFK Jr. got a lot of negative feedback, as if he had leaked this private information between he and Donald Trump. He said that he had not done that. He said, "When President Trump called me, I was taping with an in-house videographer. I should have ordered the videographer to stop recording immediately. I'm mortified that this was posted. I apologize to the president." President Trump doesn't seem to be bothered by it. By the way, thank you guys so much for liking and sharing these videos. It really helps me out as a small news organization. And did you guys know that one of my Donald Trump shooting videos just reached 3.7 million views and 148,000 likes? I just want to say thank you guys so much for all of the support as I try to tell the truth and get accurate information out to the American people. Well, one of the most well-known Democrats in Washington, D.C., Representative Adam Schiff, who actually lives in Maryland, not California, joined calls for Joe Biden to step aside in the 2024 presidential race. Even though Adam Shifty Schiff still thinks Trump is a threat to democracy, he stated, I have serious concerns about whether the president can defeat Donald Trump in November. And you should be concerned because he can't. So you're making the right move, asking him to step down. But honestly, I want Biden to ride this thing out so that Donald Trump can beat him. Now, up until this point, Biden hasn't given any indication that he will drop out. But for the first time, he has just explained what would cause him to drop out. Biden responded to a question from Ed Gordon of BET News. He stated, I would drop out if I had some medical condition that emerged. If doctors came to me and said, you've got this problem or that problem. Now, Biden acts like he's completely healthy, but we know that he's been secretly meeting with a Parkinson's doctor for the last 8 months. Now, maybe he does have Parkinson's in addition to dementia. I don't wish that on him. He's the one seeing the doctor, not me. But I do have to wonder, is this a setup or a golden parachute that would allow Biden to leave at any time? You guys can go search this for yourself, but there was a time where Joe Biden said to Barack Obama that if he ever messed up or needed to get out, he would just fake a medical issue and he would leave the race. So I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but those are his own words, not mine. Now, sadly, the president, the 6-time vaccinated president, who has been pumped full of the miracle vaccine, has COVID. I wish him a quick recovery because I don't like COVID and I don't want to see him have issues from that. All right, now I have some big stories, including an exact diagram of the miracle of Donald Trump living after 3 bullets whizzed so close to his head, you wouldn't even believe it. But first, let me tell you about today's amazing video sponsor. Do you owe back taxes? Pandemic relief is over. Along with hiring thousands of new agents and field officers, the IRS kicked off 2024 by sending over 5 million pay up or else letters to those who have unfiled taxes or balances owed. Don't waive your rights and speak with them on your own. They are not your friend. Tax Network USA, a trusted tax relief firm, has saved over $1 billion in back taxes for their clients, and they can help you secure the best deal possible. Now, whether you owe $10,000 or $10 million, they can help you. Whether it's business filings or personal taxes, even if you have the means to pay or you're living on a fixed income, they can help you. So please allow them to do that for you. Tax Network USA is a great firm, and I'm going to leave their 800 number down below. You can have a free consultation or visit tnusa.com/Gardner. Now, amid ongoing investigation of the Secret Service's failure at the Trump rally, Director of Secret Service Kimberly Cheatle has finally admitted responsibility. During an interview with CNN News, she stated, "The buck stops with me. I am the director of the Secret Service. It was unacceptable, and it's something that shouldn't happen again." But when CNN host Pierre Thomas asked for Cheatle to respond to calls for her resignation, she stated, "We're going to continue to be transparent and communicate with people, but I do plan to stay on." Now, we'll see how long she holds out, but I'm guessing under a new president, she probably won't stay on. Now, during another interview with ABC News, Kim Cheatle gave the worst possible answer to a question that everyone has been asking. Why was the roof that the shooter climbed on not secured? Cheatle stated that building in particular has a sloped roof at its highest point, And so, you know, there's a safety factor that would be considered there, that we wouldn't want to put somebody up on a sloped roof. And so, you know, the decision was made to secure the building from inside. Okay. In order to shoot into an area further away from you, you have to have a higher vantage point. How on earth are you going to protect the president and the building from inside the building? This 20-year-old literally crawled on top of the headquarters where all of the shooters and other snipers were. And that's how they were going to protect the president? Unbelievable. Now, if Cheatle wasn't going to resign before, she should definitely resign now after making these comments. This was a horrible planned event, and they gave this guy the perfect opening and vantage point right to President Trump's head. Now, how is the head of the most elite protection agency in the world scared of a sloped roof? Securing the roof was clearly non-negotiable. So this thought process showcases either extreme ignorance or corruption on her end. Now, according to the New York Post, that specific building was also filled with armed snipers who were supposed to be monitoring for threats. They had all the manpower they needed, but failed to position the people correctly. If it was me, she would be fired right away. Like literally, the people that are supposed to protect the president were inside the building this dude was on top of. Like, I cannot get my head around this. It's crazy. And the fact that the police saw this guy, they talked to this guy, they took photographs of this guy, and he was still able to get off multiple shots is just so crazy. Excuse me. Now, to make matters even worse, NBC News claimed that Trump was already under an elevated threat of assassination weeks before the shooting took place. After the news broke, Cheatle detailed that Trump's security detail was increased after they gained knowledge of an Iranian plot to assassinate the former president. She stated, "What we increased was what we felt was appropriate for the president and for that particular event on that day." So what we saw on Saturday when Trump was shot was upgraded security from beforehand. Now, to me, that's horrifying. So your most beefed up event was the event a protectee, a president, a candidate, a former president was shot at? This is crazy to me. All right, now I have said to you guys that I believe that we all witnessed a miracle on live TV. Somebody has created a computer-generated rendering of Donald Trump's head, and it perfectly moves with every movement of his head. And I want you guys to see exactly what happened and just how close 3 times this guy miraculously avoided death. I'm going to show it, and then I'm going to watch it again with you, and I'm going to comment on it. Excuse me. Boom, number 2. And then here comes number 3. Okay, let's watch that again. This is crazy. So he is looking up. He's looking at the immigration thing. In order to see what the people are saying, he turns his head, right? And then all of a sudden we hear a boom, boom, a pop, right? And he hears it because it went right next to his ear. And then you can see he puts his hand up, and a bullet goes right between his hand and clips his ear. Then he totally turns his head as a third one goes right in front of his eyebrow. Absolutely crazy. So it was actually 3 times, and you can see his body movement and exactly how he saved his life. I mean, that's pretty crazy. Now, I'm just learning this, and maybe you know this, but I went back and watched it, and just a couple minutes before, Trump is like, you know what? I'm actually bored of this speech. Hey, do you guys have those slides about immigration? And they put the slides up on the Jumbotron, and that is why Donald Trump turns his body so that he can see that. If he had not said, I'm bored of this, let's look at these slides, he would have been faced right on, and they show the rendering. It would have gone right through the back of his brain. So I don't know what you guys want to call this. Divine intervention, the biggest coincidence ever witnessed on live TV, or a miracle. I'll leave that up to you guys, but I'm watching this thing back, and while evil is going on in the background, something is setting up a scenario so that President Donald Trump could live. I mean, it's pretty wild. I don't know if you guys, let me know, what are your thoughts on seeing that? I mean, he turns his body and then right past his ear, and he hears it, because what we're learning is those pop, pop, pop that we heard in the microphone, those are actually little sonic booms. So he would have heard a sonic boom right past his ear. Boom, boom, boom. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy, my friends. All right, now, this is pretty disgusting. As you guys know, I find leaders of the Democrat Party and the mainstream media to be fairly disgusting. These Democrats and the media are mocking President Donald Trump for having a white bandage on his ear. They say the former president is making too big of a deal of this. He's only wearing that bandage in order to get attention, in order to garner sympathy. I'm sure it has nothing to do with a giant open wound, or direction from his doctor, or the fact that he still has an open wound, right? Like, I can't believe that they would say this. So, like, instead of marveling at the fact that this guy is alive and what a tragedy this is, they mock him. They absolutely mock him for having this white bandage on. I don't know. Let me know over in the comments. I found this to be disgusting and immature. Let me know if you do as well. I want you to type a D for disgusting. And if you think it's okay, then I want you to type okay. All right, let's keep moving. Despite a Judge Eileen Cannon, ruling that special counsel Jack Smith's appointment was invalid, illegal, done incorrectly, Jack Smith is arguing that he still has the right to take Donald Trump to court. And even if Trump wins, he's going to take this right up until January 20th of 2025. Now, in a press release, Jack Smith's spokesman argued the decision deviates from the uniform conclusion of all previous courts to have considered the issue that the Attorney General is statutorily authorized to appoint a special counsel. Now, it's a really bad look for Smith to chase this case down. It is over. Let it go. A court has decided, right? Or at least that's what you guys tell us. So, just as Trump has the right to appeal his cases, which is the right thing, Jack Smith is going to appeal his court case to continue to go after President Donald Trump. Now, unfortunately, just a few days after Trump almost lost his life, Biden's campaign chairwoman, Jen O'Malley, criticized Trump's VP pick and compared it to January 6th. She stated, Donald Trump picked J.D. Vance as his running mate because Vance will do what Mike Pence wouldn't on January 6th, which is bend over backward to enable Trump and his extreme MAGA agenda, even if it means breaking the law and no matter the harm to the American people. So they're basically saying that Trump only picked Senator J.D. Vance because he is a yes man that will do whatever Donald Trump says. But if you've done any amount of research on Senator J.D. Vance, That dude stands on his own 2 feet. He is not in any way compromised. And I think that's what Donald Trump respects about him, not what he looks for in a patsy or a lapdog. Well, Vice President Kamala Harris echoed a similar tone, claiming that J.D. Vance would act as a rubber stamp for Trump's extreme agenda. The two might be debating down the road, although the Trump campaign gave one of the best burns I've heard in politics. So they're pressuring J.D. Vance and Donald Trump. When are we going to have a VP event? When are we going to have a VP event? When are we going to have a VP event? And finally, the Trump reelection said, well, once Kamala Harris declares who her new vice president is, we will set up the event. So they're planning on Joe to get sick or drop out, and that she will become the front runner nominee, and then she will have to pick somebody as her vice presidential candidate. Now, isn't that something? I wonder who she might pick. I have no idea, because I don't like to think about Democrats very often. All right, now, while Republican speakers have been hypercritical of Biden during the ongoing RNC convention, it is unclear if this will change after Trump gets a chance to speak with them. From studying what Trump has been saying over the last few days, it seems like he wants to change the way he addresses his competition. If you remember my last broadcast, I noted that he scrapped his original RNC speech in order to deliver something that was less dividing. Now, I honestly believe the assassination attempt could be a life-changing experience for Donald Trump. I, for one, have seen a totally different energy from the president. And from what I'm told, this is what happened with Ronald Reagan when he was shot as well. He became a different person. While it's too early to tell if Trump will change his rhetoric or tactic, there are some striking similarities between Donald Trump and Ronald Reagan after each of them survived. After Reagan was shot, he went on to believe that God spared him to carry out a purpose. He also said to have gained a much closer connection to the American people that seemed to have faded away. I believe the evidence of this will also be manifest in the life of Donald Trump. All right, now something that was really neat from the RNC convention, they had a 98-year-old D-Day veteran speak about how much he loves the United States of America. He said, "America is still worth fighting for. People say America is an idea, and I believe it's much more than that. America is our home. With President Trump back as commander-in-chief, I would go back to re-enlist today, and I would storm whatever beach my country needs me to." Pretty moving, right? Man, that generation just had so much courage. It was really neat to hear from that gentleman. Okay, did you guys see that Democrat Senator Bob Menendez was just found guilty of 16 federal charges ranging from bribery to outright fraud? An expert from ABC News read, prosecutors told the jury that Menendez promised to use his power to help Egypt. According to the indictment, the arrangement was brokered by New Jersey businessman Wael Hanna, a friend of Menendez's wife, Nadine, who prosecutors said received the senator's help preserving a halal meat monopoly. Overall, it's estimated that Senator Menendez accepted hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash and hundreds of thousands of dollars in gold bars. Wow, right? I knew that guy was guilty. Nobody has $400,000 in cash, like rubber banded and just sitting in your closet. And nobody has suits full of gold bars. Like it doesn't make any sense, right? Oh man, this would have been a great time to tell you guys about Colonial Metals Group, but I'll do that another day. They're really awesome as well. All right, that's my update for today. Let me know in the comments, will you? Are you just ready to go to bed, or are you up early and ready to take on the day? Let me know. Anyway, before you guys go, I want to remind you that you are amazing. Thank you for subscribing. We're almost to 1.7 million amazing truth seekers. We definitely want to get there. If you could do me a favor, please give this video a like, because it tells YouTube to share it with other people like you and me that are seeking the truth. Also, again, hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you in my community. Hey, I love you guys. Have a great day. Stay amazing. And I will see you on the